Good start. Hello. Sorry for the late start. I had to use the little gamers room just a couple minutes before 2. And there weren't no speeding that up. Okay. So it's the short game stream, so let me get into my short games folder. Let's play this one first. What? Straight into full screen. Oh well. Full screen it is then. Let's see if that captures nicely. Okay, it does. First game is a Frogger clone. And it's unabashedly a Frogger clone. It's a free game. It's not trying to be anything else. This was a student project by the developer who was told to recreate a popular, well-known game from scratch as a means of testing how well they can, program solutions. And one of their choices was Frogger, so they took that. Ooh, WASD controls. Looks like... Looks like WASD is the only game in town. Oh, can you not jump on the Crocs or something? You're definitely supposed to be able to. And it seems that, in case the developer didn't know, you absolutely can jump on the Crocs in Frogger. It's just that they'll like throw you off after a few seconds. You have to go quickly on them. The randomization of the traffic speeds was, and I guess of the log speeds, was intended as the developer's own little twist on the game. So that's not a bad thing or anything. But yeah, the Crocs are... Oh, jeez. Oh. Okay. The Crocs are an obstacle, but they're not instant death or anything. Also, sometimes you just fail to get carried along with the log as you jump on. That's a noticeable problem. I'm curious what kind of grade this project got, because it has... I've already identified a few problems with it. Yeah, and you're allowed to just go into one you've already gone into, which is why it doesn't matter that it just, has them go from left to right. It also seems that you don't need to aim into any of the squares, where, again, you do normally. It just seems if you reach the last layer of the game, then you get awarded a point. So that's another discrepancy. It's the issue that is posed, I guess, when you are intentionally copying an existing game. Is any difference is immediately going to be thought of as, well, you just did it wrong. Which I hope I'm not falling too far into, because the randomized speed of the different objects is a choice that is different from the original, and I think it is a perfectly adequate gameplay choice. But there are issues here with this game that would be issues even if this weren't pretending to be Frogger. Such as sometimes not being carried along with the logs, and the Crocs just being empty space, essentially, because they act exactly the same as if you had jumped into water. That's unintuitive. They should be a risk-reward. That you can use them, but doing so is risky. Also, this game highlights one issue with... How do I put this? One reason why you should have a small animation that plays whenever you start a new life. Um, it can be annoying when you die over and over again in a game, and you have to wait every time for some little animation of your character like starting up to be able to play. But the reason for that kind of thing, aside from technical limitations, which is certainly why they were there in the early days, is that if you don't have that, and especially if there's an obstacle right at the beginning, then you run the risk of just chain dying and being sent through the meat grinder. Now here, I'll show that off. Like that. Like that. Obviously, that's an exaggerated example where you wouldn't be mashing the button that much, but even through normal play, I was, just a little bit off, say, of an objective and died, and intended to move again immediately. But because I did that, and because I died on the first move and then tried to move again immediately, I immediately went into the traffic and died. That wouldn't have happened if the game had wrested control from me for just like a few frames. It wouldn't take much. And give me a chance to for my eyes to see and my brain to understand, hey, wait a minute, I died, I need to recalculate the actions I'm sending to my fingers. Okay, here we go, we're good to go. And that would all happen in like a third of a second. Having fast respawns in a fast-paced game, well, there was the log not carrying me again. Don't know why that happens. It is definitely good to have fast respawns in a game with fast gameplay. Hotline Miami really showed people that you could have a game that was super fast and really, really trial and error, and have that be totally fine because the respawns were so fast. It never felt like you lost too much. And that's the big thing, is that a game's difficulty is often perceived not by the likelihood of failure or the difficulty of success, but rather the amount of stuff that you lose upon failure. The more you lose upon failure, the harder the game is. I mean, just think about the term hardcore mode. What does that bring to mind in a game? Does that make the enemies deal more damage? Does that make you deal less? Does that mean that more enemies spawn in? Does that mean that the enemies have better AI or better tactics? No. It means that if you die, you lose everything. That's what's hardcore about it. Not about victory or success. Not even about the chance of failure. Often it's exactly the same as a normal mode playthrough, except that on the instance of failure, you lose much more. So then it is how much you lose that determines a game's hardcore status, not how difficult to win or how easy it is to lose that matters. So there's my, weekly chat about game difficulty, as I seem to bring up all the time. Buttons. This one next. And again, it's full screen. And you do not have a windowed mode. Come on, show up. Okay. Okay, we Gucci. So, this game is... I did play something like it, didn't I? Where it was about making a bunch of links sort of like... what's it? Pipe Dreams. And the goal was to like make a line that went from one side to another, and then you would get points based off that. And I found that perhaps the most effective way of playing was to just make a little link like at a corner, and get the small amount of points there, and just do that over and over and over again. Okay, so you can place if it wouldn't connect to anything. What does this mean? Oh, that lets you get rid of one. Okay. Because this one has not been going well. That's as far as I can go on that. I don't know, keep. Okay, so, oh, well, that's no good. Yeah, what if I just didn't think about it? What do you think about that game? Hey, I got... Oh, game over final score. I have feedbacks. I have feedbacks. But we can play that some more. And try to do it a little better, you know? So we do one of these, and one of those, and one of these, and one of those. And we'll try to get as big a link as I can before banking. Alright, we'll bank there. I don't like how they flash whenever you make a connection, because it makes it kind of hard to see what you're doing. If you haven't like already committed to memory what lanes you have available. I said that in a weird way. Basically, whenever it flashes, I can't see the lines that I still have access to, and that's honestly really annoying. I don't. I want to be able to see, you know, what I'm doing. These are not useful. I'm doing worse. Oh, even though those weren't connected with each other, they all counted. I have I have feedback. You should probably not allow that. Because that means that anything you want to have for scoring points only needs to connect to one thing. And I don't think that was intended. So now I can just go like through here. And oh, that works there. And oh, that works there. And you know, I'll bank there. And look, that gets rid of the whole board, and we can go fresh. We can go fresh. That probably connects with most of them. I did that without even thinking a little bit. So that seems like a fundamental design flaw in your little game. Something that should not probably work that way. There's also more obvious things, such as the game completely lacking any sound. Don't worry, it's not that I have the volume too low, it's that there's nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all. And I got almost the whole board. I thought these would connect as the with through the corners, but I guess not. What about right here? Yeah, these aren't playing nice at all. I suppose this one can never. I'll just crunch this one. I suppose it would require the whole kit and caboodle then. Well, alrighty then. That one needs some work. How about this one? Called 20 by 20 by 20. Oh, this one's got sound. It also, however, does not have... Nope, not that. It also, however, does not have a windowed mode, like the others. Oh, okay. Oh, and there's a jump. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking at. Am I missing something? Oh. I reset it. Oh. Okay. How do I move the other way? There we go. Okay, so you move the blocks around and create a maze that you can move through and hit buttons to solve it, I guess. At this point, I really am just hitting buttons. Okay, so I can only get in there from the right. Alright, I got it. Then I get in there through the bottom. Ooh, almost got. It's like a Rubik's Cube as a maze, I guess. Well, I almost had it if I were over here. That's not what I meant to hit. Oh, wait. I made it! Happy birthday! I finished in 5 minutes, and I only sort of understood it. Alright, I'll hit escape to exit, no problem. Fire and Fondness, 2. This one is windowed. A little warm-up, huh? Reach your sweetheart without getting burned. The only way to be safe from a flamethrower is to make sure there's something between you and it, such as a closed door. Flowers are extra romantic but optional if you don't mind being called cheap. Ow. Oh no! Oh, we both got burned. Okay, I get it though. Par. Every so many steps, the flamethrower will fire, and it'll fill all of the rooms it can, unless... And you'll be hit unless you have something to stop it. The best solution might not be the hastiest one. By best, we mean most survivable. By the way, did we mention that you can walk through flamethrowers? But as soon as they fire, you can't make a move. You're stuck at that point. Ouches. Yeah, that's not gonna make it. Well, dang. Yeah, I realized I already made a mistake. I ain't gonna make it. Now, what do I do from here, then? I can open the green. That, okay. So that opens the orange. Now I can get the flower and the girlfriend. Oh, now they're both safely locked away, so it doesn't matter how many steps I take. Hooray, I've done it. These objects will force you to move in the direction they indicate unless there's something in the way. Our writers assure us that they are romantic somehow. So I have to get green closed to survive. But green is also where girlfriend is. 7, 6. Okay. So the arrows also let you move 2 spaces in one go. In order to make it through here, I have to have the red closed, so I can close that, and then boom, and then close orange will let me get through green. Wait, this is a soft lock. So what do I do if I soft lock? Okay, there's a restart button. Okay. 1. So I can't show my mouse cursor, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seems to be enough. And then go, 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 go. Yay! Simply step into the ring of light and be whisked as far as 20 feet away. Results not guaranteed, blah, 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 blah. We make the joke where we're an uncaring corporation. That's the joke. So, if I do this and then let it fire, how unromantic. Okay, so portal goes into flat portal, into flat disk. And there's two blue portals, but they both lead to the same blue flat. So I could just take this and be like, yay, I made it! And that's good enough for me. Bombs will explode when lit by fire, destroying anything next to them from rocks to foolhardy game show contestants. Okay. We can close off red. And now red is safe to open up to get the flower. We stole these from the dance show next door. They'll melt after being heated up 3 times. By the way, you won't always have 9 moves before the flamethrowers fire. In this level, for example, you only have 8. Whether it's on an odd or even number can make a big difference. Keep an eye on it. Well, I suppose I start by melting the ice. I ain't gonna make it. Or I suppose I need to use the ice as a barrier. Of course, if I open this now, I'll just die. But now I'll just die. So I needed to waste one more move. Ouches. Hey. Heck. I do those. I mean, it's a cromulent puzzle game. Boom, 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 boom. But then I need to hit the blue again. Because now if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and die. And 3, then 2, then yeah, I wouldn't make it back in time. Also, if I don't close this, the girlfriend gets burnt. There's no other way to be safe from the flamethrower down here except by hitting the red switch. And if I open up the red switch and go for the green switch, then girlfriend gets burnt. I can't even make it anyway. Let's move on. Tomato game. It's got a custom loading bar that's fancy. It's got language selection. You want sound captions on? No. Image captions on? No. This might actually be too long for this. If there's a load option, playtime is 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Yeah, no, that'll take me to the end. Okay. Can't change the comment. There. Got the form all filled out. I really should have got that done before actually coming here. Looks like nobody else is here yet, though, so I'm safe. It's weird that there aren't any employees here yet either, though. Would it be rude to just yell and see if anybody's in? I mean, if nobody's here, then nobody will think it's rude, right? Hello? Anybody in? Who are you, and why are you yelling? Yeah, sorry, I didn't think anybody was in. Then why the heck did you yell? Don't say it like that. I don't know, I get nervous in unfamiliar situations. I'm not usually in a visual novel. Wait, what? I'm itching, here for the tour. This is Tomato Clinic, right? Oh heck, is that today? But don't tell me I got the date wrong. I'm so sorry, I'll come back later. Or never, if that'd be better. Just calm down for a sec. Let me check the calendar. Oh, it does start today. Whew, I was so worried I screwed up. I didn't see any of the other students here, so I thought that maybe I had the wrong place. That's because you're the only one who signed up. Ha 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 ha. Wait, you're not joking? Nope, it's just you. Marie said we didn't get any other applications. Who's Marie? My boss. She should be here any minute. Welcome, you must be here for the tour. You can tell I'm the boss because I have a tomato pin. What? Where did you come from? I get the feeling tomato might be a metaphor or a euphemism, but let's see. Boss, you're gonna scare away our only applicant if you keep jumping out like that. I'm just trying to be friendly. Does she have, like, a fang? A little drool? A growth? Oh wait, I forgot to ask. Do you have your application form? Yes, right here. Mm-hmm. So your name is Itching? Yes, that's me. Cool, my name's Marie. Nice to meet you. Gakuto, Gakuto, did you introduce yourself yet? I would've, but you decided to jump attack me. Gakuto, that's no excuse to be rude. You know, usually, writers try to keep the names of their characters more or less within a similar language family. It can seem odd when they're emphatically not. Ugh. Name's Gakuto. Nice to meet you, I guess. It's nice to meet both of you. I'm excited to be here. You know what we do here, then? I did some research ahead of time, but there wasn't too much on the website. It's a blood donation clinic, right? It's a Baka donation clinic. God. Gakuto. Gosh darn it. Why would you come for a tour if the idea makes you uncomfortable? Yes, this is a blood donation clinic. Yes, both me and Marie are... It was a thing. Are vampires. Got a problem with that? No, I just haven't been to a place like this before. I'm a bit nervous, that's all. Gakuto, don't be so mean. And don't worry about it, Itching. We're pretty new to this too. Actually, you're our very first touree. You're a tourist? How's that supposed to be reassuring? Anyway, no point in talking out here. Let's head inside so I can talk a bit about what we do. Follow me. You can put your backpack down behind the counter if you don't want to carry it. Oh, that'd be... great, thanks. I guess I should follow them in. With a stake and a hammer. Huh? Why did they... So what do you think? Vampires can be killed with a stake and hammer. I can be killed with a stake and hammer too! Wow, we have so much in common! Yeah. What do I think of what? This room! Oh, it's very nice. It feels kind of homey. It's a bit different than what I expected, though. Different? Well, it looks kind of like a cafe. Oh, that's because it is a cafe. Huh? I thought this was a blood donation clinic. It is, but it also functions as a cafe. When I started this place, my goal was to make it a place where people can relax. If you've ever given blood, by the way, and this is uncomfortable for some people because, you know, needles. They don't use, I don't know what you would imagine they use, right? It's a big hypodermic needle. Like, normally, hypodermic needles are really little, so it doesn't hurt too much when it goes in. But this was a hypodermic needle you could see through. You could play telescope with this needle. It was a thick boy. It feels different. It hits different. Blood donations sound really scary, right? I just got cookies. Adding vampires just makes it scarier. Wait, no, that's not... It's okay. I know most humans are afraid of us. That's part of why I started this place. I want to make a place where humans could get to understand vampires a bit better. And that's why I've prepared... this. What is this? A quiz on vampires. It's very short, so don't worry. And it's okay if you get things wrong. We just want to check what people's general knowledge of vampires is. Just shout my name when you're done. Where did she go? I guess I should fill out this quiz, though. It doesn't look too long, so I should be okay. Let's see. Oh, nice. Multiple choice. Where vampires get most of their nutrition. Blood. Let's check out the next question. What happens when vampires are exposed to sunlight? Sunburns. Turning to dust is a bit much, but there's probably some truth behind the rumor, right? Let's take a look at the next one. What do you use to ward off vampires? Anime! Feels like the other answers are too cheesy to be true. So this should be the right one. I'm not too sure about my answer. No point in worrying about it, though, I guess. On to the next question. Where do vampires sleep? Beds. Coffins feel a bit too on the nose, and everyone has to sleep sometimes, right? Oh, looks like the next question is the last one. What can vampires turn into? Nothing. That's a stupid question. Why is this quiz suddenly being so confrontational? I don't know. What's a funny answer? I can't think of one. I guess this is probably the right answer then. Anyway, that's all the questions. I should call for... what's her name again? Marie? Are you finished itching? Yes, I'm finished. Great, just let me check your answers then. Wow, you're really dumb. You're such an idiot. How did I do? Why don't we go through the questions together? You got the first one right. We do get most of our nutrition from blood. If it's okay for me to ask, how does it work exactly? It'd be a really lengthy explanation if I get too into it. Like, think of how you eat food and your body turns that into energy for you, right? For us, we do the same, just with blood. Alright. Hold up. No, I got something to bring up. Just a moment. Let's add an image layer. And I got put in... Wait. Yeah. It's a PNG and I don't want it to be, so I'll just put that up here. That's the Krebs cycle. Hold on, I'll turn off the game capture. There. You know, it just looks a little something like this. Okay. Get rid of that. Well, we can eat regular food too. We don't process it well. It's kind of like junk food to us. So it doesn't really give you the nutrition you need. Exactly. I'm glad you get it. So for question 2, you got this one right too. We vampires get sunburns if we're in the sun too long. How long is too long? Well, it depends on the vampire. Most of us will get bad sunburns in less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes? Do you just stay inside all the time? Nah, we just use sunscreen with very high SPF. And make sure to cover our skin as much as possible when heading out in the day. All of the windows at Tomato Clinic are specially made to cut UV, too. This way we can enjoy the daylight without the sunburns. Thought vampires like the night. No, we were just forced to go out only at night before. Now we have modern technology to help us. Well, that's pretty cool. Right? Let's look at the next question then. Nice, 3 in a row. The answer to what you use to ward off vampires is anime. None of the above. There's no one thing you can use to ward away vampires. Like, there's no one thing you can use to ward away humans. Knives, guns, fire, fireworks. Fire will keep me warded away pretty good. Hydrochloric acid. I mean, why do people think that stuff like a cross and garlic will work? I think it's just one of those weird urban legends. Alright, so the cross obviously is because vampires are considered evil creatures and therefore a godly power will repel them. That stuff's pretty obvious. Garlic's a bit more nuanced. I think it has to do with the antimicrobial properties of garlic. Like, the alum found in garlic is a pretty strong poison, and the only reason why humans can eat it is because we can just process it fine. It's also why garlic is very toxic to your pets. You absolutely cannot let them have things that have garlic in them. It will make them sick, and in large amounts, you could very well kill them. The garlic bulb, it's not like a fruit, you know, it's not something the plant wants people to eat. It's the roots. You don't want to have your roots eaten, so you make it real poisonous, right? Well, that wards off plenty of animals just fine, but humans, we're built different. It's not like peppers, where we are affected by it, we just like it. With garlic, we're not very strongly affected by it. In large amounts, it'll become an irritant. Like, there was a story in early COVID of a Chinese woman who thought the garlic was the cure, or a preventative measure, as she ate tons and tons and tons of garlic. And what happened was, she had to go to the hospital because it caused swelling in her throat. It wasn't serious, and anti-inflammatory agents were administered, and she made a full recovery in no time. But yeah, that's what will happen if you eat a whole lot of garlic, is it'll cause inflammation. It'll irritate the mucous membranes of your body, and they will inflame and swell, and that's no good, especially if it's in your trachea or your esophagus, or, you know, if it's in your esophagus, it'll press against the trachea and cause breathing issues. But, so garlic isn't really harmful to humans except in very large doses. But it is harmful to a lot of other things, including microbes, including bacteria. So, garlic has a strong antimicrobial, antimicrobial properties. And if vampires are considered dirty things, and generally if blood is considered a dirty thing, therefore vampires by association are dirty, it would stand to reason that the cleansing power, the antimicrobial power of garlic would be effective against them. I imagine that these sorts of legends occurred long before germ theory was established. You know, stuff like vampire legends go back really far. But people probably did understand at least somewhat that garlic in some way prevented illness, and therefore extrapolated that to mean it's an agent of purification, and therefore has a similar power to holy objects. So when it came time for people to write about or people to pass on legends about vampires, garlic, it kinda makes sense, was included as one of their weaknesses. I think I could be totally off base. After all, it's very easy to come up with things like this if you don't know any vampires in real life. Huh. Moving on to the sleeping question. Wow, you're 4 for 4. Vampires just sleep in beds. Vampires get aches and pains just like humans, so honestly coffins would be pretty uncomfortable. I guess that's true. Now for the last question. Looks like you got all the questions correct. We actually can't turn it into anything. Yeah, I guess it was kind of a stupid question. No questions are stupid, except for that one. But the quiz said that was just Gakuto. I think he was annoyed. He thought the quiz was a stupid idea. I think it's a nice way of teaching people about vampires, though. What did you think? Swallowed a little bit. Spit. What did you think as our first human quiz taker? I thought it was nice. And I got to confirm, this really confirmed my biases. I'm glad. I'll be sure to let Gakuto know, too. I asked him to write the questions, and he was very annoyed by it. I'm sure he'll be happy to know his work was worthwhile. Will he? He didn't seem very cheerful earlier. Oh, that's just how he is, don't worry. Anyway, like I said earlier, you got all the questions correct, so that's a perfect score. As I said earlier, hold up, let me check my logs. Let me send the pointer out. Congratulations. I have to make this seem natural for whatever I say based on the choices that you made earlier. Because, you know, they matter. Thank you. I'm a bit surprised. Tomato, 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 here's your prize. It's plastic. I get a prize? Yep, as a thanks for getting to know us vampires sort of gift. It's a tomato pin. Because this is the Tomato Clinic. With this, you're part of our Tomato Club. What's the Tomato Club? A club of vampires and friends. A club of vampires and food. Right now, it's just Gakuto and me. And you. Oh, I don't really get it, but thank you. Now that we've got our icebreaker done, though, we can start one of our vampire culture experiences. What? For the tour. You didn't think it was just going to be quizzes. I didn't get that right at all. You didn't think it was going to be all quizzes, did you? Honestly, I wasn't really sure what I had signed up for. Well, soon you can find out. I've got a lot of fun activities set up for you. Here's your worksheet. Or Gakuto has, at least. I pushed all my work off onto him, so I'll go get him. Marie seems very energetic. It's nice. The whole place is pretty nice, actually. I always feel weird about visual novels. It's like, I click to confirm, but, oh, my mouse cursor. Well, I'll put it on his tooth. The decor is cute and the general atmosphere is relaxing. What, did you expect it to be all red satin and bats? No, Then what were you expecting? Well, maybe I was kind of expecting something like that. With more candles and chandeliers, maybe. Chandeliers? We're vampires, not Victorians. Sorry, it was just when I see vampires in the media. Yeah, I know. Sorry to bite your head off. Figure of speech. I know there's a lot of weird stereotypes about us. That's why Marie set this clinic up, and why I'm helping out. That's really nice of you. Yeah, sure. How'd the quiz go, anyway? I got it perfect! Huh, not bad. Back to the tooth. Anyway, I'm supposed to be your tour guide. First up on the activity list is the vampire sunscreen routine. What? Is that some kind of vampire talent? What? Oh, you mean how Marie just appears out of nowhere? I wish. That's just a Marie thing. Anyway, as Marie said, the first activity is a common part of a vampire's usual morning routine. While we'd like to go through the whole morning, we're currently a bit understaffed, as you can see. So we only have the sunscreen bit set up so far. Sunscreen? Well, as Marie told you earlier, vampires sunburn very easily. So we're very careful about applying sunscreen. So how is this supposed to work? Am I supposed to put sunscreen on you? What? No, that would be weird. We have a dummy for this. We're not using actual sunscreen. Let me just set it up. Gotta stand it up right. Make sure it's secured. Okay. Is that supposed to be a vampire? Yeah, it's got the fangs, see? A pretend one. There are a bunch of clothes for you to choose from. The goal is to pick an outfit appropriate for a vampire. Then you'll put sunscreen on. Or, well, fake sunscreen, since our dummy is made of whiteboard. Just use this yellow marker to apply the sunscreen. Then I'll let you know how well your vampire outfit would fare in the sun. Sound good? Ah, sounds fun. I'm ready to start. Just stick on the fake clothes and the sunscreen and let me know when you're done. Got it. Dress up, dress up. Naked! Okay! Straw hat. Straw hat's thin, but yeah. Cape. Oh, I didn't do the sunscreen. Just take a look? Okay. Well, first, the outfit. You gave them something to cover up their eyes, which is good. You can use sunscreen on skin, but it's hard to protect your eyes. For the sunscreen, though, you didn't put any on. So all the exposed skin, it's going to burn. Oh no, did you just forget about the marker or something? Yes. No, I don't know. I'm sorry, dummy, I didn't mean to give you a sunburn. Well, it's just a dummy. Don't worry too much about it. Anyway, that was the activity. The idea was to give you a little idea of what a vampire goes through, as a way to say, hey, we're just normal people trying to live our lives. It's kind of more boring than I expected. I always thought vampires were more, I don't know, sexy? Or scary, or both. Sure, that's how we're often portrayed in media, but I am already sexy, thank you. Most of us are just boring people who buy a lot of sunscreen. Huh. Thanks for telling me about this. I never really thought about it before. Just doing my job. Anyway, I need to prep for the next activity. Wait here for a bit. I guess I'll do what Gakuto said. How was the activity? I forgot the sunscreen. What? Sorry. How did you like the first activity? You know, the vampire sunscreen routine. That? It was pretty interesting. Oh, I'm really glad. It took a lot of time cutting the whiteboard to the right size. You cut it yourself? Yep, we're pretty short on funds, so most of the stuff here is DIY. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, you don't have any money. Cool. Thanks, we try our best. Sorry, I got a bit off topic. I'm actually here because it's time for a requiz. A requiz? A chance for you to take our vampire quiz again. Is what I'd planned on saying, but since you already aced the test, there's actually nothing for me to do. Sorry, should have gotten some questions wrong. No, of course not. It's great that you got perfect on your first try. I thought I'd ask if you had any questions for me instead. Just about vampires in general. Do you really have to be invited to enter a place? This is a tricky one. There's nothing physically stopping us from entering without an invitation, but it's very taboo in vampire culture to do so. Taboo? There's a great vampire joke I just got reminded of. You hear a knock at the door, and you open it, and there are some men there. You say that you already found Jesus, and they say, no, we're actually the opposite of that. We're the Vampires Association, and we're here to answer some questions about vampire culture. You say that they don't look how you thought they would, and they said, I can see where you're coming from. It's very common that there are bigoted opinions about vampires. We'd be happy to answer any questions. Now may we come inside? It gets me. It gets me. Many humans are very wary of us. Well, as a rule, we are... Oh, jeez. Got a little frog in my throat. Well, as a rule, we aren't supposed to take blood without consent. It's true that there were some vampires who did, and still do so. It's just like how there are some humans that commit crimes. That doesn't make all humans bad, but these bad vampires made humans scared of all vampires. The invitation rule kind of came up as a way to assuage human fears. We never want to frighten anybody and do anything against their will. Entering a place without an invitation is included in that. Oh, and I guess the truth kind of got a bit warped. All this info is actually very easily available online. It's just that sometimes it's hard for facts to overcome people's beliefs. Sorry to make you feel sad, though. Any other questions for me? I think I'm good for now. Cool, I think Gakuto should be back soon anyway, so I'll leave you two to it. Oh, she actually walked out normally this time. I guess I'll just wait for Gakuto to come back. I can take a look a little around here in the meantime. We have some interesting magazines. I've never seen most of these before. Vampire Weekly, Fang Outpost, Wired for Nights. You can take a look at them if you want. No, sorry, I was just... Like I said, feel free to take a look at them. They're there for visitors to look at, after all. Oh, okay. Maybe a bit later. Whatever, do what you want. I have the next activity ready when you are, though. I am. Ready, that is. What's the next activity? A backstage tour of sorts. I'm going to show you the process we go through before a blood donation. Oh, okay. We're going to be looking at blood and stuff. Are you going to be okay with this? Yes, I will. You sure? I will. I was just caught off guard. Sorry, I really haven't done anything like this before. Yeah, I can get that. Ooh, did they put straws in the blood packs like Capri Suns and go... You need a thick straw because it's viscous. Blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker, but the drink I prefer is water. It's really nothing to be nervous about, though. Let me show you. This is where the blood donations happen. Huh, doesn't look very clinical. Yeah, Marie wanted all the rooms here to look as inviting as possible. To make sure people could feel comfortable. Wow, you're just a big ball of assumptions, aren't you? We visited a bunch of other clinics in the areas before deciding on the look for Tomato Clinic. It definitely makes me feel relaxed, at least. I guess it was worth the week we put into it then. What? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Nothing. Anyway, let me explain the process. How much do you know about blood donation? Not very much, honestly. I've only ever had blood tests, and that's about it. Okay, then I'll start at the beginning. First off, just to clear any possible misunderstandings, both Marie and I are certified to draw blood. All vampires working at donation clinics are required to be certified, for both the regular human method and the vampire-assisted method. Regular human method probably means using a needle, but that's the vampire-assisted method. That's the sexy kind. I'm guessing you don't know much about vampire fangs, right? No, sorry. Well, you've probably heard stupid stories about people getting pleasure from vampire bites. It's all true. Unzip your pants. Yeah, I have. That's not how it works. Oh. Our fangs have a substance which is a natural anesthetic with a calming effect. They're also very sharp and pointy, so the wound left behind is very small. At blood donation clinics, the process is simple. Bite, then draw. Huh? First, we bite to create a very small wound. Then we use a needle to draw out the blood. Oh, but why not just use a needle in the first place? Unfortunately, blood loses its nourishing qualities very quickly after leaving the body. That is, unless it is first stabilized by the substance in our fangs. While it would be easier to just bite and suck blood from the source, we can't expect a human to always be available when a vampire gets hungry. That's where blood donation clinics come in. We draw blood and distribute it to vampires who need it. Oh, like a vampire food bank. Something like that, yeah. Everything makes sense so far? I think so. Before we actually draw the blood, though, we do a health check to make sure everything is okay. You been to Africa? You had butt sex? No? You're not a fatty, are you? Those are the things they ask you. What kind of issues could there be? For example, maybe the person's blood is infected with something and they don't know. They might have recently taken medication that prevent them from donating. They might just be feeling sick, and donating blood can make them feel worse. Once we've confirmed that everything is okay, then we start the blood donation process. The human gets comfortable on the couch, and the vampire takes their arm. Arm, not neck? Well, it's true that it's easier to drink blood from the neck. Since we're drawing the blood out through needles, it's easier to do it through the arm. Like a regular blood donation. Oh, I guess that makes sense. But of course, human saliva, well, maybe vampires are different. Human saliva is actually very bad for humans. We can get infections really easily. So do they have little vampire bite condoms? Like a balloon that you go over and then poke their fangs through and then you like my demonstration? One thing we make sure it's very clear though is that it's okay to stop at any time. We always want to make sure both the human and the vampire are comfortable with everything. So if the human feels uncomfortable, we call it off. Same for the vampire if the vampire feels uncomfortable. Maybe you start feeling dizzy during the donation, or you just changed your mind. You don't need a reason. If someone says stop, everything stops. We'll even give you a button you can press, just in case you're anxious about saying it aloud. Wow, you're really prepared. Well, we're asking people to give their blood to us. We want to make sure we have their complete consent. Anyway, that's the end of the presentation. Hopefully you've got a better idea of our blood donation process now. I think I do, thanks. Great, I'm going back to the cafe area to prep for the last activity. Snacks. Could you wait here until I'm done? Got it. Cool. We got blood oranges and other foods that have blood sausage. That's actually blood, though. And other blood-related foods. The blood donation process is a lot more complicated than I expected. I guess I should just wait here now, though, until Marie... Hello? There isn't even a door on that side of the room. Where on earth did you come from? Ah, that's a secret. Technically, this time is scheduled for a quiz, but since you already passed the quiz, though, do you want to ask me some questions? How common are vampires compared to humans? It really depends, honestly. Vampires tend to live in small communities. Lately, though, you have more vampires like Gakuto and me moving to big cities and such. Now that humans know a bit more about vampires, it's easier for us to live among humans. Really? I've lived here my whole life, but I don't think I've seen more than a couple of vampires. I mean, you can't really tell we're vampires at first glance, right? If you're not looking too closely, we really just look like pale-skinned humans. Oh, that's true. You might actually know a couple of vampires without knowing it. I wonder if I do. Any other questions? I mean, that just brings up... Right. I mean... you want to know if you can fuck a vampire, right? That's why you came. I mean, if you're gonna say it like that. Can people be turned into vampires? No, that's absolutely not possible. Sorry, I knew that already. That's not what it says in the books I've read before. Or that's what it says in the books I've read before. It's just, people still say that we can, right? Being a vampire isn't a disease. It's not contagious. We can't infect anyone with it. It's just one of those unfortunate myths that spread. Sorry for bringing it up. Don't apologize. I'll happily answer any questions like this if it means I can clear things up. Any more questions? I'm okay for now, I think. Okay then, in that case, that's everything from me. Gakuto will let you know when he's ready, so just stay here. I wonder if there are any secret passageways in this place. Nah, that'd be a bit much. I wonder how much longer Gakuto will be, though. Hey, Itching, I'm done setting up. Let's go back to the cafe area. I guess I should follow him. Wait, it didn't look like this before. I mean, I said I was prepping, right? What is this for? An old vampire tradition. A blood tasting. Blood? Alright. Don't worry. I'm not actually going to make you drink blood. We're doing a human-friendly version with tomato juice. Tomato juice? They'll take the blood. Then what? It's like, humans have holidays, right? Yes? And for these holidays, you usually gather people together, right? Yeah, for family dinners and such. Well, vampires don't eat. Alright. So what you usually do instead is have a blood tasting together. Humans share food. Vampires share blood. That's a vector for disease. Vampires share needles. Food's a big part of human culture, right? I guess? Blood fills the same role in vampire culture. But how does that... I'll explain. But first, I want to check that you're okay with doing this. We're not using real blood, but the idea is that we're going to pretend we are. Of course, even when we use actual blood, it's always blood that's drawn with consent. But if you don't want to do this activity, you don't have to. If it's okay, I want to try. To be honest, I do feel a bit nervous. I don't think I've ever done anything like a blood tasting before. I'd still like to try, though, if it's okay. I came here to learn more about vampires, after all. If you let me participate in a bit of your culture, I'd be really happy. Sounds like we're okay, then. Okay, now let me explain how blood tasting works. There are actually many different kinds with different steps. The one we're doing today is from when one vampire invites another to their household. It's meant to show hospitality as well as trust. Oh, sort of like serving drinks to guests at a party. Well, it's usually a bit more formal than that. There will be a vessel filled with blood, in this case tomato juice. The vampire who is hosting, in this case me, pours a glass for the guest. That would be me? Yeah, it's polite to serve the guest first. Next, the guest will return the favor and pour a glass for the host. The point is to show that they are honored to be a guest. Then both parties will take a sip, but just a small one. Next, the vampires clink their glasses together. Huh? They make a toast after they've already drunk? The idea is that since they've already taken a sip, part of their self is left on the glass. And by clinking the glasses together, they're sharing that part of their self with the other party. Huh. A blood tasting is usually done when somebody invites somebody over for the first time. It's a way of saying, I trust you in my home. Part of that trusting somebody is entrusting them with yourself, so that's what a blood tasting is meant to show. That's really interesting. Finally, both vampires drink until their glass is empty, without stopping. Again, this is meant to show trust. Not emptying the glass would show hesitation to accept the other vampire's offer of trust. Wow, there's a lot of thought put into all the actions, huh? To be honest, I think most vampires don't really think that much about it. We just do blood tastings this way because that's how they've always been done. That sums up the steps, though. Are you ready to try? I think so. Okay, let's sit at the table then. I'll pour you a glass. Okay, do you remember what to do next? Good job. The first step is returning the favor and pouring a glass for your host. Okay, do you remember what to do next? A little sippy. That's right. We each take a sip from the glass. Next, what do we do? A toast. Yep, we clink glasses as a sign of trust. Now, what do we do last? The big drinker. Right, we down the rest of our glasses. And that's it. A vampire blood tasting. What did you think? Thank you for doing this with me. I'm really glad I had the chance to experience it. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to retch because I hate tomato juice. Though we used tomato juice, that was pretty much exactly how a blood tasting usually goes. I'm glad you seem to have enjoyed it. Huh? I said baka. Nothing. Hopefully that was educational in some way or another. Anyway, that's the last activity, which means this is the end of the tour. Oh, that was quick. Could you head to the reception? Marie should be waiting for you there. Okay, how about you, Gacto? I'm just going to go clean this up first. Got it. I'll see you later. I like the little guy. Huh? Marie isn't here yet. Hi, Itching. Hi, Marie. I came back here since the tour is over. Right, and thank you for taking part in our tour. You should have seen this as well when signing up, but at the end we have an optional blood donation. Oh, right. I remember seeing that. Of course, this is only if you want to. You'll have to pass our health check first. Today, both Gacto and I are available for blood donations. Just let me know if you'd like to donate. And if you would, who you'd like to draw your blood. Oh, you do it. If it's okay, could I ask you to draw my blood? I feel like Gacto might slit my throat instead. It'd be my pleasure. Let me take... You're not saying that because he's a vampire. No, I'm saying that because I think he hates me. Let me take you to the lounge then, and we can get started. I think Gacto already talked to you about this, but I'm going to explain again just in case. First, we're going to do a health check, just to make sure everything's okay. Then we'll get you comfy on this couch. After that, I'll use my fangs on your arm to create a very tiny wound. And then I'll use a needle to draw out the blood. It'll take about 10 minutes to draw the blood out. Don't worry, I'll stay here until we're done. Also, one important thing, you can tell me to stop at any time at all. Doesn't matter when. If you want me to stop, I'll stop. Does that sound okay? Yep. If you want me to stop, just press this button. It'll give me a buzz and I'll stop right away. If you're ready, we can start with the health check. Oh, looks like you're in super good health. We're good to go. Are you okay with starting the blood donation? Boing. Yep, let's start. Okay, could you sit down on the couch then? Okay. Thank you. Now could you give me your arm? I'm just going to use some antiseptic on your skin. Sorry if it tingles. Oh, and then you're going to bite. That's going to taste so gross. Next, I'm going to use my fangs to make a very little bite. Let me know right away if you want me to stop. Okay, the bite's done. Now I'm going to put in the needle. The needle will draw out the blood. Again, let me know right away if you want me to stop. Okay, the needle's done too. Now we just have to wait for the blood to be drawn. How are you feeling? A bit nervous, but okay. That pretty much sums up how I'm feeling. What? What are you nervous about, Marie? Honestly, I've been nervous all day that something would go wrong. It's our first time doing a tour for a human. We've done test tours with other vampires for practice, but it's not the same. I'm really happy our first human tourist was you, though, Itching. Huh? Why? Because it seems like you really do want to learn more about vampires. Why else would I have come here? Well, you'd be surprised. There's a bunch of picketers outside with sharpened signs. We had some people sign up for the tour with obviously fake info. We obviously turned them away, but a lot of the people aren't happy about a vampire blood clinic being in this part of the city. In the good part of the city, you know. I bet you were a bit unnerved when you first heard about it, too. No, I wasn't. Sure, I was a bit surprised, but I think it's really cool that this place exists. That's really nice of you to say. You're proof that there are humans. You're one of the good ones. I'm Swery 65, and I'm one of the good ones. That's a line from Yahtzee. You're proof that there are humans who are okay with vampires, and I think there's a lot more out there. Sure, we've received quite a handful of threats in the mail too, but there's been a lot of people keep mailing us crosses. Honestly, I keep a collection. I think one day I'll wrap them up into a ball and make a flail with them, just to show humans I really don't give a shit. There's been a lot of people who just come by to take a look at our brochures too. How are you so cheerful about it? About the brochures? I know. Fucking window shoppers, am I right? Well, we have to start somewhere, right? A couple years back, we wouldn't have been able to open this place at all. Slowly but surely, though, more humans are learning about vampires and acceptance is spreading. Obviously, right, this is a metaphor, and it can be for whatever you want. Gender, non-conforming sexuality, not. Let me just put my foot in my mouth real quick, right? Gay people, trans people, other religions, like the line, you were really surprised when this was set up in the city, right? That's that strikes of when, especially post 9/11, whenever a mosque was being built, especially anywhere that was really high traffic, there would be a hullabaloo in the local news. And so that's the vibe they're going for here, but it can apply to really any marginalized group, you know? There is the issue, of course, with the whole vampires are a metaphor for parasites, so it doesn't go great there, but they're obviously trying to ignore and scrub out that facet of vampires and just use them as a stand-in for marginalized communities. So, although there is a bit of, to use a TCG term, nombo, which means a combo piece that doesn't work with the combo, something that makes the combo not work. So in a metaphorical sense, using a metaphorical subject that might reflect badly on what it's supposed to represent, that can be overcome, of course. And they're making great strides here. Where it hasn't been used well in the past, in other games I've played, would be like, what was it, Uranus? That was that society where all men are forcibly transitioned to women so it can be a woman-only society. It's like, that is probably not a good look. You probably don't want to have your game say, welcome to this women-only state. It's fascist. That's probably not helping your cause. This is. Everyone has to start off somewhere, right? If someone is misinformed about vampires, I want to give them a chance to be informed. That's why you came here, right? I don't want to be informed. I want to be formed. Because in means not, right? Like inhospitable. That's a language joke. Because you didn't know too much about vampires, but you wanted to know more. That's true. I'm just hoping I'll get to meet a lot more people like you, Itching. I hope you can too. And we're done. That's the end of the blood donation. What? Already? Yep, we're done. Finished. All clear. Here's some chocolate and juice for some energy. When you finish them, come to the front. Huh, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I even got chocolate out of it. I guess I should eat this and then go to the front. Hi, Itching. There is a world where, like, the shoe drops and, like, actually, we're evil vampires. It'd be real bad if they did that because of the way it's been, they're being used as a stand-in for marginalized communities. It would be a real bad look if they turned out to be evil. Let's just assume they won't do that. Hi, Marie. Now that the blood donation is over, the tour is officially finished. Get out. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you for doing this tour. I think I learned a lot. That's great. I'm really glad you think so. We're going to be doing a lot more activities in the future, so definitely come back again to see what we're up to. I will. Here's a little tote bag with brochures and stuff. I think you'll find them pretty interesting. I'll make sure to check them out when I get home. I'll make sure to throw them away when I get home. Remember, you're a mater. You're a member of our tomato club now. You'll always be welcome here if you want to visit. I'll try to visit soon. I bet there's still a lot more I can learn. I'll make sure to have more stuff ready soon then. If there's anything in particular you'd like to learn about, just tell me. Okay, I'll think about it and let you know. Cool, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for playing. News. A tavern for tea. He's got wings. It was made in Ren'Py. This is a... They did a... Actually, it's Ren'Py. I realized recently the PY in that stands for Python, so it's Ren'Py. That sounds terrible, though. I'm going to continue calling it Ren'Py. I was wondering if this was Ren'Py. I suppose I shouldn't have because, yeah, it is in the files. It doesn't look like Ren'Py. They did a really good job of, like, customizing the look. And, oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's Ren'Py, all right. That's Ren'Py. Oh, you can't hide that. I guess the crayon aesthetic does do a good job of sort of hiding how it's built, but yeah, those are some good ones. I like that last one. It's a cute little visual novel that does actually a good job of representing marginalized communities through a fantastical metaphor, which has been missed before, which has been screwed up before. Anyway, so next week I'm going to be playing more of a few of the games I haven't finished yet, like Hidden Folks and some more Sidewords and Double Cross. And was there one more? There might have been one more. Let me check. No, I think that's all of them. And then I'll find a couple more games to play. I haven't made the schedule yet. Yeah, Ungrounded was like 5 minutes, and Ephemeral Tales is finished, so that's everything. So then, I've got a couple more games to pick, and I'll get the schedule up before tomorrow, hopefully. See you.